Good morning, Friday, March 20th. And let me tell you, yesterday I say Thursdays are my worst days. Thursdays are my worst days. I got chewed up pre-market enough that it rattled me some. I had to stop, calm down, readjust, and try to get back into the green. As you can see, on the hourly yesterday, a lot of wicks on both sides for most of the day, including leading up into the open with this big, long lower wick looking bullish. And then as soon as we open for the next 4 hours, we didn't really go very far. It wasn't until later in the afternoon that we began moving out of this range, somewhere I think in the 2 o'clock hour. I was long gone by then. My terminal had been shut down well before this in the morning. But just to show you, yesterday I had talked about if we break and can no longer hold 24.5, we really ought to be heading down to 24.4, if not lower. Now, ideally, that would have happened in market open. Unfortunately, I began to notice this was losing its hold pre-market. So it was somewhere in just after 8:30. And my biggest mistake was I didn't see it on time. I saw it late. You can see I started trading just after 8:30. We had already gone 50 points lower. I should have been in much, much sooner if I were going to take the breakdown from 24.5 and try to hold that to 24.4, which it did do. I mean, it ticked it right here at 402. However, I went short too late. It whipsawed back on me. We had a nearly engulfing candle above these highs. It was engulfing at one point. I didn't let it shut. I flipped the trade. That didn't work. I then had to go short again. And somewhere I started catching up. By 8:40, I was done. From between 8:31 and 8:38, I had lost all the trades I was going to lose. And from there forward, I started recovering. If you look, 18 trades. It's like my average is 2 to 4 trades. I took 18. Now, I was scaling in and out very quickly, but I had 8 winners, 10 losers on this scaling. You can see here at 8:31, I had took my initial hit, probably about a 10-point loss. Then I had my second account just shy of 10 points. I try to flip it. That doesn't work. The long doesn't work at 8:33. The short also does not work at 8:38. It was just a nightmare. And I had sized up on this one. As you can see, 8:38, if I open this up into the details, it was only 10 points. Average entry was 70. Average exit was 80. I only gave myself 10 points, but look at the size that I was going in at. And look at this cluster of ridiculousness. Should have never happened. So the lesson here is, first, when you decide that you're looking for an entry at a particular area, if you miss it, which I've been really good about, if you miss it, you wait. You say, I missed it. Oh, well, no fear. I'll get another setup. I decided I was so bearish if it broke 25.5 that there was no harm in going in 50 points too late. I mean, that is some real rookie thinking right there. So fortunately, I pulled myself out of this to end the day 900 up per account. But two things. One, I do notice that some of my strongest days come from my worst days. I don't know what to think about that. But I just shouldn't have been trading that much. I should have taken one trade, said, okay, it didn't work out. Let's wait for a setup. And then I wouldn't have to dig myself out of this hole. You know, finally here at 842, I go long for 1800. I then begin to take the short. A few minutes later, for another 800, I short again at 849 for another 330, and then I go long again at 949 for 700. So I was on top of my game after that little 10-minute blow up, but in that 10 minutes, I lost myself. I don't know what happened. So lesson learned. Don't jump in late, get yourself in trouble, and start scrambling to find direction. Because sometimes you won't dig yourself out of that hole. You'll just lose everything. If you do get into that, try to step back, gain your composure, wait for a good setup, and then take it again. And you don't have to do all of it in one day. Even if you recover some, recover half, or get yourself back to zero, that's a solid day. In fact, most of the time, I would say when you have a severe loss, if you can get back to neutral, break even, stop for the day. It's terrible if you can get back to break even and then you start it all over again and go back down. So that was yesterday. As you see, the last trade was taken at 9:49, and that's where I ended my day. And so right now, I'm getting close. I got to close 18,000 to bring these two eval accounts and Apex to PA accounts. So in total, I got like $700 to go between them both. I need 25 points. So today is going to be a day of patience, or no trading even, because 25 points is not a lot. But if I reverse 25 points and I lose, now I'm back to 50 points. As you can see, due to yesterday, my trade win percentage has now dropped to 68. My profit factor has dropped below 2. My win-loss is generally about the same, but you can see here I'm still, I get those losses. I get a couple of those losses, and man, my average win-loss just goes down. My profit factor was looking real strong. Now it's below 2, so my Zella score is going down, whatever that means. It's going down some. I'm doing well. I still have yet to have a red day, but I got to trade better. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move into what we're seeing for today. Economic news-wise, there is nothing on the calendar that is of importance to us today. So we can take that out. I'm going to jump over here just to give us an idea of what's going on the larger time frame. You can see here on the daily, we're still sitting at the bottom of the range at 24,350. There is still room for us to move back up. However, it does seem like we have failed to get above 730. So this might be it. We might be eventually looking at this inevitable break to the downside. But each time we've said that, it has bounced up. If you come over here to the 4 hour, we're meeting our lows here from March 13th. I think we are just tagging them right now. So we'll see how that reacts here. So that 350 level is going to be important today. On the hour, you can see we're just below the EMAs. We're below the VWAP. It's not looking good. You know, the truth is it's hard to be at all bullish in this territory, but that's fine. We're just going to be bearish. And that's great about that's what's great about being a momentum trader, is that you don't really care about market direction, you just care about movement. So let's go ahead and open things up here. We're going to jump back to the hour and then get all of our indicators and our drawings up for the day. So we can see here, I'm going to take off this real quick. High of day, 690. Low of day yesterday, 326, which we have just broken. I'll move this guy down. So prior to this, we were just hanging out in yesterday's range as well as yesterday's value area. But literally in the last 10, 15 minutes, we just broke right through the value area low. Our overnight value area low was at 559. So it's reasonable to say that we could get some type of mean reversion here shortly. At the very least, maybe up to point of control. possibly even to the value area high. I feel like the value area low will start to fall here fairly soon, so I don't want to say 560. It's a little early to say that. We're going through none of the nodes are being respected from the weekly, except for the 24.6, but that's also the 24.6 level. We do have one last node here at 24.3, and then that's it for the weeklies. Beyond that, we had a little bit of that meatiness sometime back at the 200s. So generally speaking, we're in bearish territory. I'll be looking primarily for shorts as of right now. Again, it is only 6:15 in the morning. So I don't really have much more to say. Friday, with as close as I am to closing up the evals, and with it being Friday, and with the crazy day I had yesterday morning, I'm a little hesitant to try to jump in too early and say, you know, what I think is going to be the big trade of the day. I just see, yeah, maybe I'm just a little bit tired. It's Friday. But let's try to work through this and wrap this up, because I don't think I'm really providing much information right now. Okay, so on the 15, we're getting through this cluster here. We had a pop. It didn't really hold. It just ranged out, dipped, and then came down much lower. We're now meeting yesterday's low of day. If we give up the 24.3s, I think we'll just be heading down to the 24.2s, potentially even the 24s. Right now, I would say areas to look for once we open would be the overnight high as well as yesterday high of day. See how we want to react around that. Do we want to test it before we go higher or lower? Next here is the bottom of this range. This is what the bulls held onto yesterday. We'll see how they react around this level here. Lastly will be the low of day, which was well defended. And now conservative longs and shorts for the day. Let's get our EMAs on and see what we got here. So obviously, solid downtrend, great spacing between the 50 and the 14, well underneath the VWAP. If I'm looking for longs, wouldn't mind seeing this area here. Yeah, I would say longs are over yesterday's high a day. I won't say that we're going to get to them. We may. Anything can happen, but it just feels like we're going to be more bearish today. And right now, well, lows are going to be pretty solid, right? If we cannot hold yesterday's low a day, we have plenty of room to the downside. Right now, I'm going to keep it at 24,000. So, generally speaking, it should not be a difficult day. The one caveat to that is I said that yesterday, if we broke 25.4, and yet it was a mess. We broke 25.4, and look at the wicks that just resided in that range and above it. You really just couldn't get any follow through any direction. So I don't want to say today's going to be easy, but what I will say is that with patience, we should end the day green. We should end this eval green, in the week green, and all we need is a little bit of solid confirmation with conservative risk. And I think we'll knock out a winner today. So we'll come back, see what the markets are showing like at 8:30. I'll try to do a recap this weekend if I have time to give my update on whether these eval accounts close this day or not, and go from there. So good luck to you. Happy Friday. I'll see you on the other side.